Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your April monthly horoscope for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to our channel, we'd be delighted if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you've got some big things going on in your life and you'd like some expert guidance, why not check out my one-to-one testimonials by seeing the link below. It's one of the most enriching parts of my work, working in this way. If you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign in an affordable way and find out more about what really makes you tick, please check out my personal horoscope reports. There's a special offer on a year's forecast and also a character analysis, 30% off. Please see the link below. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope forecast for April. This month begins with the Sun in your sister fire sign of Aries, near to Venus, the planet of love and attraction. But also Mars, the ruler of Aries, is in a very positive location for you in the sign of Gemini. This is your 7th solar house, and this can give you a little bit more edge when it comes to interacting with others, more drive. Now, if you work in a competitive environment, or you're quite a sporty person, or you like debating, then this is a fine location for Mars to be. But it's also fabulous if you want to reach out and connect to someone, particularly in a romantic context. And all these influences are going to be augmented from the 4th, when Mercury, the planet of communication, moves out of its watery journey through the sign of Pisces and comes into Aries too. Now, Mercury in Aries is a much better transit, to be perfectly frank. Mercury isn't at its best in Pisces, so there may have been some uncertainty recently around where you live, who you live with, or how. And perhaps there's also been some confusion about some aspects of that area of your life. But Mercury moving into the 5th house is going to revive your sense of humour and give you, along with the Sun and Venus, a greater appetite to join in, to interact, and to some degree to socialise. And of course, you know, with COVID restrictions, it does really depend on where you reside in the world. But if things are easing in your particular locality, you're going to capitalise on this pretty swiftly, I feel. Now, it is true that from the 4th through to the 14th, that Neptune, which has been in your sector of emotions since 2012, and has given you a heightened sensitivity at times during that period, that is clashing with Mars. So if there is somebody that you'd like to be getting on well with in a romantic context, but it's seeming to be a little confusing, or there seems to be something that's not quite clear about the situation, that could prove to be a bit dispiriting. But I want you to know that the combination between Mars and Venus in the first 10 days of this month is absolutely awesome. So if there is somebody that you feel a very good vibration with, and things are really flowing between you positively, there is a great deal of attraction. If you feel yourself that your allure is turned up to max, then really do show maximum confidence to go forwards. I think Neptune can be a bit of a killjoy if it injects a little bit of self-doubt into your approach, or maybe somebody close to you, could be a family member, is going to be, you know, the proverbial pourer of cold water. So I think the energies generally are asking you to keep the faith in whatever you're trying to do that's either self-expressive, creative, or romantic. Now, on the 12th, there is a new moon in Aries. Now, this would be one of the best new moons of each year for Sagittarius people. This one does, however, forge a right angle to Pluto. And this is followed in week 2 by Venus in a right angle to Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation, but it can also be about power, and it's in your 2nd house of resources. And of course, in the preceding 2 years, when Saturn was moving through the same sector, I think it has been the case that a lot of Sagittarian people have been feeling the pinch a little bit. And I think what this combination between the Sun and Venus and Pluto are saying is if you're feeling generous, if you're feeling very affectionate or even amorous, there's a great opportunity to be very dramatic in your moves. But also, just be conscious that when Pluto is in the mix, there can be some leverage involved. So if someone is being very flattering towards you, very alluring towards you, and is being very generous towards you, that's not to say that they've got any dark agenda, but it is asking you to just check out everyone's motives, including your own. Now, in weeks 2 and 3, the Sun in Aries, which is so energizing for you, it really gives you much greater energy and vitality to express your qualities. Well, that's forging a terrific link to Mars. So if you do meet someone or you're engaging with new people, I think that week 2 and week 3 can be a fabulous opportunity for you to be really uplifted by those connections. Now, on the 14th, Venus does move out of this very joyous, affectionate and friendly 5th house and into the more practical sign of Taurus. But of course, Venus governs the sign of Taurus. And this can see you thinking about more practical considerations around relationships. So if you have met someone new, you could be sort of just getting into a bit of a routine, perhaps being more appreciative of some of their practical skills. And if they enjoy cooking, then I'm sure that you will enjoy indulging what is served to you, or vice versa. But on the 19th, the Sun and also Mercury join up with Venus and also Uranus in the 6th solar house. The 6th house is really quite practical. It's really a reflection of the energies of Virgo. So we're being asked to be a bit more virtuous. So after the play and flamboyance of the earlier parts of this month, it's about getting down to brass tacks, if you like. So making sure everything's working in an efficient way. If you've got a garden to clear out, to bring in spring growth and to get organised, this would be a fine time to be proactive. You can also see you thinking about jobs, and particularly jobs where you can be of assistance to other people. Also, Mercury moving into this area gives you an extra degree of precision. I think it's true to say that most Sagittarius people have a fantastic understanding of the big picture, but sometimes everyday details can bore you a little bit. But what you're being asked to do in this phase of April is just submit yourself to these strands, which just can see you making sure that you feel everything is well ordered, that you're eating well, that you're showing a bit more self-discipline all round. So not the sexiest set of influences, I have to be honest, but very important ones. And if you have been developing some imaginative, even innovative ideas, this collection of energy in the 6th house gives you the discipline to find the structures to actually make these ideas flow, the form and function. Now, because Uranus has been such a dramatic influence in this part of your situation, mainly for the last 2 years, but for 5 months of 2018, I feel that there has been some changes in this arena for you. And Uranus could push you to make some more. And it could mean that approaching something that you've tried before, perhaps even in a novel way, in another novel way. Some lateral thinking can definitely be a positive thing towards the end of this month, but also you may find that Uranus can be a little bit unsettling. So we've all only got a set amount of minutes and hours in the day, and I wouldn't try to be too virtuous with Uranus in the mix, because you could actually burn yourself out a little bit trying to make everything absolutely spot on, when really what these influences are asking you to do is actually to prioritize and just pick off one by one the things that definitely need to be done, and don't sweat the small stuff just to make to get to that point where you feel that everything achieves this mythical point of perfection, which I think is very, very hard to achieve for us all. The 23rd also sees Mars move out of its long 6-week journey through Gemini and into the sign of Cancer. Now, in technical terms, it's in full FALL in the sign of Cancer, but this can be very good for you if you're a business person, or you're working with shared resources, or you're investing, you're thinking about pensions, anything to do with inheritances can really come to the fore. But also Mars moving into this area is quite a sultry transit. So over the next 6 weeks, you may find that your appreciation of intimacy is definitely increased, because Mars, at the end of the day, is about instant gratification, and the 8th house is very much about, or can be about, the deeper needs we have, and obviously intimacy can be one of those. Now, on the 27th, we have a full moon. The most intense full moon of each year is this Scorpio full moon, and for you, that means it's tucked up in your 12th house, which is more psychological. On the other side of the heavens is the practicality of the sun, but the sun is very close to Uranus. When it comes to those professional changes you may be considering, or work alterations, or even just the way you lead your life, in terms of the amount of exercise you do, or how much you analyse the nutrients you are taking in, are you taking shortcuts on things where you could be a little bit more careful, which then would increase your sense of well-being. The 6th house is very much about well-being. So I feel that Uranus is saying to you that if it's the psychological side of your situation that's a bit out of balance, which is where the moon in Scorpio is, don't be hung up about that, because pride is a big problem in terms of welcoming into our own domain the holy trinity, if you like, of mind, body and soul. And in Western society, we do find it difficult to think that any aches and pains we have could in any way at all be linked to our emotions. So there may be something you do need to just realign, and Uranus could actually see someone being an advice giver, giving you a radical new view of how you can approach something. But when it comes to that professional situation, or where you're dealing with life's everyday realities, just be conscious that not everybody is as upfront as we would all like. One of the things I really like about Sagittarius people is that you can be very frank. Sometimes that can be tough for other people to hear, because you just say it how it is, but at least people know where they stand with you, and that honesty is something to really respect and appreciate. So there could be a little bit of politics around your situation at the end of this month and going into the first 2 weeks of May, and it's just saying, just cover your bases. Make sure that you're looking after your immediate needs, the 6th house first, but you're also being conscious of your emotional needs as well. But certainly there is a lot of energy this month, which is very, very upbeat, vibrant, exciting and energizing. And I think that it's just converting all that into something that really gives you a sense of ownership, a feeling that things are working in terms of your routines well, and just getting a bit more grounded in the latter part of the month. For now, stay safe, take care, goodbye.